Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful and talented, the one and only, Dylan.
When we say AA meeting, both A's stand for after.
I don't think I was on board with that one.
The after.
After. Do you know,
Right. The preliminary after doesn't work with alcoholism.
do you know what AA stands for?
Yes.
Oh, I was about to say it.
Of course I do.
I was going to say, I was confused.
I'm drinking right now.
I know.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry that I thought that. Okay, anyways. I think we're thinking of different things, is all I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Anyways.
I know what I'm thinking of, and it surely isn't sobriety. Anyway. I hope to God my family doesn't hear this.
Yeah, well, who knows? He's not, for anyone that's concerned, he's not actually an alcoholic.
But I am drinking.
Oh, yeah, he's drinking a beer, and it's fine.
Not heavily.
Not heavily.
Just often enough.
Speaking of, I made like this little, I had like this like cappuccino mix stuff that like I've like made before in the past, and it's like, it's not bad. It's pretty good. But you got to get the ratio right. And I had like a little bit left, and I was like, surely it's enough. It is not enough. It tastes like shit, to be honest.
Damn.
And we are past the 1 minute mark, so I can say that.
Get ratioed.
Yeah. Get ratioed. I got ratioed.
Your drink didn't.
To start off, the past couple episodes, I've been doing this. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. We got a YouTube channel. Go to the search bar at Hindsight Studios. You can go to the YouTube channel, subscribe there, throw us a like. The comment section's actually been a little bit on the dry side. I'm looking to talk. I'm sitting here and I'm all alone in this wasteland of comments.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to drop
Sometimes
a comment,
you just want to talk after you record a talk session.
you know how it is. It's mostly just want to hear feedback.
Yeah.
I just want to know that all I want is validation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that I'm doing all right. Because I hope all of you are doing all right. I love all of you. There's not a dependency issue or anything.
Right.
Don't look at me like that.
Though.
Audience, don't look at me like that, okay?
I do this for me.
I do this for me. And mostly for you.
Maybe. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. It has been I'm gonna go ahead and own up to this one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's been
Gonna pay it forward?
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
It has been it's been one of those weeks where normally like the schedule that I have is I usually like work from home on Mondays and then I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
And then and the same sort of thing, a little depending on how the work ends up shaking out a little bit on Friday if I need to. And I had to go into the office on Monday and have a little meeting with somebody, which was a little bit drawn out. Wasn't bad though. It was very good. He's
a lot of talking.
A lot of figuring out. He's a vendor, so I'm trying to work with him because he's going to help supply like this art piece that I'm making.
Wares to sell.
Exactly. So it's all great because again, the poor guy. It's been so hot around here. He almost had a heat stroke, and so I know. And he's like, because he does like outside work and like makes things outside and does work outside, roughly. And he was like, dude, I wasn't doing very good there for a minute, and I was like, please just go take care of yourself.
Right.
Take a week off. Like it's not. I don't have I can't make that call. But I was like, but
on average and in general,
exactly,
it's okay to say that your life is more important than your job.
Precisely. From one friend to another, I'm sitting here saying, hey, I think you should really take a break.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, my guy. And so he did. And so anyways, Monday.
hey, I'm about to die.
I ain't doing so good around here. My body can't regulate the temperature.
I'm not doing so hot in that I'm doing too hot.
So anyways, he took a week off of work. And Monday was the first day he was back. So I was like, I want to be Johnny on the spot to make sure I can get all of my needs across person to person.
Get the actual AA appropriate accommodations.
There you go. Alcoholics Anonymous.
And nothing else.
Yeah, right. Because again, instead of doing it over email or text messages like we've been doing, it's nice to sit down and like talk to him and show him all the stuff that I've been doing. Anyways, semantics aside, had to stay later because there was some other meeting that was involved with the work that he was doing. I had to get people on board with all that stuff. So it's like it's all the discussions. It's not bad.
Not
it was all
the multi-meetings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There was a pre-meeting before the actual meeting. You know how it is,
dude. Yap.
Yeah. I mean, it's
big yap.
Big
bro.
yap. But again, I hear what you're saying. But these meetings specifically ended on a high note.
Okay.
Everyone was in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone spoke their feelings.
Yeah. And
everyone felt like they were heard.
Okay.
And we were able to move forward. And I love that. We all left from a meeting and everyone felt happy and we're like, this, everyone, the general consensus in the room is, this is exciting and we're ready to get moving. And I'm
everyone was heard and no one was called a nerd.
There you go. Well, I can't.
Several were called nerds.
I left the meeting saying, "Ha, later, nerds."
Right, smell you later, dweebenheimers.
So again, that was like the top of the week, and then Tuesday was a full day of work like normal. I stayed late to get it all done.
Ugh. See, I don't know how the fuck you do it. Staying late.
The thing is, like, it's like I've made my office pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I have my own little coffee bar station. I have a couch.
Motherfucker's got a second home.
I mean, you've seen it.
It is really comfortable.
So it's like
I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So I mean, it's not like I'm. And again, I can sit down and take a load off, and it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But again, full day worth of work on Tuesday. Stayed a little bit late, making sure everything was all done, and then Wednesday I did. Again, another full day. I stayed a little bit later to like finish up projects, and then I was helping out. I was helping
I'll
out.
get home. You won't be there, of course, because I figure you're still at work. And then hours will pass. It'll be almost 11 or midnight, and I'll be like, what the...
Yeah.
Do I live alone now? Where the fuck is he in? Jesus Christ.
And so, this is all long-winded to say, like, I finished everything. I shut down all of the stuff, and I was, like, about to leave. And then I thought to myself, I was like, let me check my checklist because I haven't done that today specifically. And when I did, there was something very crucial that I missed.
Oh.
And I probably could have just gone up there tomorrow morning, but why do that when I've had a
do it right now?
Yeah, exactly. And I hate that, but then
at the expense of my spare time.
It's fine. And again, I should have done it earlier, but I took that time to go get lunch, and I sat down and enjoyed a nice lunch with some peace and quiet. So I think, like, again, I haven't
heard from Peace and Quiet in a while. How is he?
He's all right.
Yeah,
he really enjoys fried chicken right now. He was having a hankering for it. Yeah. So again, after I had that lunch break, I just went right back at it again, and then didn't think again. I kind of like stopped that project like most of the way through, and was like, I need to take a break.
You were running low on nose, had to take a break from the grindstone.
Exactly. So again, I'm saying all this to say that whenever
a chunk of me schnoz.
I can't do it anymore.
It's not gonna grow back.
It's well bad, isn't it? Well, sorry for anybody that's in the UK. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, why do you talk like that? What's wrong with you?
So anyways, I did that. I did the last little bit that I was supposed to do because I don't want to go in tomorrow. I'm going to take tomorrow off.
There you go.
And yeah, exactly. So
get some planning done for the convention.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have
We've got our own panel now. Finally.
Oh man! Dude,
after years of preparation.
For how funny would it be?
New Orleans Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Prepare.
We're gonna take a journey out there again. Longtime friend of the show, John. He hasn't been on recently, but he's been on some older episodes. He's been on some foundational episodes of the show.
Oh yeah, real early stuff.
Yeah, real early stuff.
Gorst Fump.
Oh
bro.
my god. I forgot about that.
That was his episode.
You're right. It was. He recommended that.
Yeah.
He is going to be our the truck I'm currently driving is not supposed to drive long distances. It needs some
It's got a faulty water pump.
It's got a faulty pump in it. So, anyways, we're gonna try and get our boy John to try and drive us down there. I'm gonna spare him some
active chauffeur.
I'm gonna throw him some money.
Paid, of course.
Of course, I'm gonna pay for his gas to get down.
Well
there.
compensated.
It's a bit of a journey, but we're gonna try and go down there and have some fun at New Orleans Comic Con.
New Orleans. Narwhallens.
And you're the one who's supposed to be drinking. I'm
Yeah, what the fuck are you slurring your words for, bro?
I just it is get it.
Quiet. Get into the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever you say, boys.
Whatever you say, boys. Yeah. That is the what has triggered this episode. Right. A lot of times we have these conversational episodes whenever we don't have the time.
Whenever we lose, and or back down super hard.
Right. Again, sometimes there are things we really want to talk about.
Oh yeah,
and that's fine. That's what this
build up
show's
to
about.
Armored Core. That was a standout.
Oh my gosh, dude.
We were so hyped for that fucking game.
I think we had one that just for Granblue as well.
Oh yeah, we had a couple.
So great.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we do this occasionally for those of you who are new, but a lot of times we try to watch a movie and then talk about it directly afterwards.
Yeah.
But every major motion picture is usually 2 hours, give or take, and then
a little long in the tooth.
And then usually we'll record, as you know from the duration of these episodes, if you've watched or listened to any of them,
at least an
hour. Which that's fine. People
that used to be fucking outlandish.
I know.
Do you remember the days of 30 minutes?
Yes.
Christ.
And sometimes we couldn't fill 30 minutes worth of air.
I think, what was our shortest episode? Do you remember?
20 something minutes.
Fuck.
30 minutes. I don't know. It's pretty short. But now I feel like you want to talk about, we got degrees in yapping now.
Dude, certifiable.
Yeah, certified yapaholics. Certified hood classic.
This is a certified hood classic. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Got a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of cool stuff, dude.
Mm-hmm. We got fucking Dragon Ball Sparking Zero coming out this month.
Oh, this month?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Can't wait for that shit. I can't wait to play as Kui.
Kui?
Yes.
All right.
One of Frieza's no-name fucking henchmen that Vegeta kills in one episode.
Oh, man.
It's hilarious. I'm amazed that he's even included in the roster. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Of course, the main event for me is going to be Broly.
Oh, dude.
So what I'm really curious about is if it's going to be just Super Broly like we've been seeing, or if they're going to include Z Broly too.
Oh, yeah.
Because holy shit, those two are my mainstays.
I mean, both of them are super cool.
They're fucking awesome. On one hand, you have a psychotic murderer who enjoys killing like no one else. Yes. And on the other hand, you have a Neanderthal raised on bugs and nothing else.
Raised on bugs.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Love that.
Two of my favorite archetypes that are rarely used.
Bugs?
No, psychotic, sadist killers. And
yeah.
Actually, no, that's not fair. There's a lot of folks like that.
Yeah.
But, however, actually, I can't really think of many other examples like Super Broly. I'm sure there are more than a few, though, that are just unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't wait to go nuts.
One of our mainline episodes, it's the shortest, is 22 to 24 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Give or take.
Oh, no.
Man,
Which ones were they?
22 minutes was Jumping Ship. Episode 49.
What?
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
That was the sequel to Horse Sense.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
That is shameful. We got to re-record.
We got to re-record.
We got to get Ethan back.
We have to
re-record.
We have to listen to that again.
Yeah.
Get out, dude! Hellboy was only 23 minutes.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh my God! I'm actually offended by that.
That's ridiculous.
I don't.
It's already criminal. We haven't re-recorded Blade Runner. But Hellboy,
dude, I
23 minutes.
23 minutes for Hellboy, dude.
That is awful.
Wow.
Oh my God.
24 minutes for Good Morning Vietnam. Dude.
Jesus.
And I think a lot of this too was because I didn't have
of the constraints.
Yeah, we
couldn't afford more time
constraints. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But now that
how the fuck did we manage? I have to listen to these again.
Dude. Okay, so like I said before, we got That's episode 49, I think, was that one. Let's see. Yeah, 49 was
Remember
Jumping
when
Ship.
That seemed like a big number.
Bruh. Hellboy was 41. Yeah. Again, and a lot of these were consistent 30s, 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow. That's insane to me.
Man.
That's ridiculous.
Good Morning Vietnam was episode 19. Oof. Okay, enough about reminiscing in the past.
Right.
Let me look forward. I know that this game is a bit janky and a bit weird, but it has so much nostalgia for me because I played the shit out of it. Aspire has has remastered Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I was gonna say Battlefront. That's already Bounty Funter. Star Wars Bounty Hunter was I think it was on a couple of different platforms. I played on the PS2,
right?
And it's a third person kind of like action adventure game in a way. It's pretty linear, but
they got you doing the Django jig,
bruh,
which is solely consisting of being beheaded.
I don't know about that. Again, Boba Fett was such a great character, but I really
gravitated towards
Django because again, that came out whenever I was in that like prime age.
Oh yeah,
I want to say those movies came out like the late 90s, early 2000s. Whenever I was in like my late child years, early teens, and
prime real estate.
And I also like blue is my favorite color. So like seeing like this like silver and blue, and especially on Camino, where like there's like the rain, everything's all like shiny and cool looking, and the jetpack. I'm like, it's
such an easy pick,
and it made me so sad when he died. And I like, to be honest, and I'm not kidding you, I hated Mace Windu, like for a long time afterwards.
Wow.
I was like, I know he's supposed to be like the best Jedi, and I get all that, but I was like, but you jackass, you killed my guy, and you didn't need to. And I was like, anyway, it felt so personal too.
It's one of those moments where like you went like crying to your mom or something like that about one of your favorite characters dying in a show.
Yeah, I know. I like there was like for me, it was more like I suppressed all the feelings,
right?
And I just
held on to
it.
And
I held on to it.
Let it fester.
I felt, you're right. I felt like I really felt Boba Fett, especially like, as a kid. I remember him holding the helmet of his father, like putting his forehead up against the helmet, and I was like, Mace Windu will get it one day. Yeah, so I really
Chase
felt
sent
that.
me a picture earlier today. He screen capped one of the things on the community page for the game, and it was just a picture of Boba holding his father's helmet, but his fucking head was falling.
Yes, I've seen that as well. It's so bad.
Oh, Jesus. Ugh. That had to have been a secure fitting helm, though.
I don't
for that
think
just to not fall out.
I don't think his head was in there when that happened, but
may have been just the bucket. I see.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, so I've been going back through that game. Yeah. I haven't devoted a whole bunch of time to it because obviously this week I haven't had the time, and it released this week. So I've played through the first two missions on it and have 100%ed each mission. Partially through remembering all the locations of things, and then also like kind of looking up some of it, just kind of reminiscing on it. And I mean, it's like I said, it has I think a fine layer of retro jank.
Oh yeah,
but like I said, at the same time, I know this game is probably not for everyone.
Oh.
But I was like, but this game I think was re-released. If it was re-released for anyone, it was re-released for me.
Right.
And so I really have fallen back in love again playing through that game. Again, you launch it, and Aspire has done a good job of like recreating like the menu, like the starting menu of all those games.
Yeah.
So I think in the Steam version of Battlefront 2, the menu's different. But if you get the Aspire Classic Collection that comes with both of them, it has both original like menus from the original games. And so anyway, it's not much, but it's like a little bit of like I relaunched the classic collection to play Battlefront 2, and they have like the each side of the has
all
like
the movie scenes.
Exactly. And it's like, I just
remember that shit.
It's so cool. And it really brings you back. I think that's what, and again, so opening Bounty Hunter again and looking at that and like hearing the music, and it's like, oh man, it's just, I remember playing the shit out of that game because again, I just loved Jango Fett, and I was like, is this a game about him?
It's perfect.
I know now with Disney's Star Wars, this is all considered like legend, and it's not. It's not any of that game is not canon,
right?
But I like it because, it kind of reminds me of a time where like LucasArts games were kind of allowed to kind of be a little weird and Star Warsy,
do whatever they want.
And I think personally,
fucking Force Unleashed, man.
Bruh,
that is one of my like all time greats.
What a great game. This game specifically, the story that leads up to Episode 2, like before this all takes place well before Attack of the Clones, and this is like how Jango Fett becomes like the Agent 1 for all the clones. Or
how the Kaminoans solicited him for DNA.
Exactly. Well, it was all Count Dooku. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you." And the game starts off like that. The game starts off hot. The Emperor's like, "Yo, I thought I told you to kill that bitch," and he was like, "Well, it was all a test." And he's like, "Well, the test has failed. Kill her, and also like find somebody that's going to be good enough to like potentially make a clone army." He's like, I think I can kill two birds with one stone.
Right.
Like that's the opening monologue of the game, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, hell yeah. So, anyways,
you gotta have the like untouchable, like ironclad confidence to be like, okay, this dude has requested the cream of the crop, the finest specimen for a clone army.
Right.
I don't think he realized. I look at one every time I wake up in the morning and look in the mirror. So what I'm going to do is make a charitable donation.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's interesting to also kind of, like I said, it's old PS2 graphics. So you see like, again, this hologram of the Emperor talking to retro jank Count Dooku.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, it's so fun. Yeah. So I really, and again, like I said, I think it ties in a perfect Star Wars way with like, again, at the end of the game, he talks about why, his story throughout the game tells the story of how Boba Fett became a clone that wasn't modified because again, because of like his partner that he was with, like was talking about how like you need to like settle down at some point. He's like, nah, I don't need to do all that.
I'm good.
Yeah. And he's like, but like you need to like have a legacy and like that kind of stuff. It's really cool to like see. I don't know. I think it fits really well. And so for me as a kid playing that game or as a teenager, I was like, oh dude, this game's fun. It's my favorite character. And then to like lead into like the second movie. And of course there's young Boba. You're like, how cool.
There he is.
I love that. So anyways, and then of course it leads into obviously the original trilogy. Say what you will about the prequels. I know that people don't care for them, but I also kind of like now that
by way of comparison, they are.
I like that. I like the hate for those has really died down in the.
That's because they came out with even worse shit.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh no, we won't.
No, I don't want to talk about it. Comma.
Yeah.
But.
Lest.
But the Acolyte was awful. I don't want to talk about it, but that was an awful show.
Right. Well bad,
isn't it? For me personally, if you connected with it, that's fine. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. For me, who really loves Star Wars, felt like a spit in the face, and my face specifically.
Damn.
So, anyways, we won't get into all that.
Nah.
I'm not down for. I ain't down to clown on
down
that.
with that.
I ain't down with that sickness. So yeah, again, like with what little time I can squeeze out, I've been sitting down and playing that and kind of having a bit of a nostalgia rush. But again, I'm taking off tomorrow, and I may actually play through some more of it. So it's been I'm really excited about that. Just kind of chill out tomorrow.
Right, to finally have the time.
Exactly. What else has been going on, though? Anything? Oh, you got a bunch of mods for Armored Core.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Right. Our buddy John set me up with the co-op mod and one called Armory, which added a shit ton of weapon variations and parts from some of the older games in the series. And I have been going to town on that shit. It's been so fun, man.
It's also very well made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I obviously I haven't had the chance to really play through the game myself, so I don't know if the models are like up to snuff. But from just looking at what I was looking at on your screen, they recreated the white glint from Armored Core 4 Answer in that mod.
Yeah, they were able to get the models, ripped them straight from the games, I'm assuming, and just shoved them on in, and they fit perfectly.
They look great.
Like, unless you're looking really close, it's not even jarring, like, at all. They look perfect.
The Alias in it. Mm-hmm. I love that so much.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's so great.
Mm-hmm.
But again, out of all like the, I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't even know how. I'm scared to say this.
Why? What is it?
Out of all the big robots.
Mm-hmm. Out of all of them.
Out of all of them.
All of the ones you've seen.
All the ones that I've seen. There's a special.
Choose your next
I know. That's what I'm saying. Because I feel this.
I'm no purist, but
I know.
There's a pecking order.
You are right. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, no matter how wrong everyone else's opinion is. I'm playing. I know that I am wrong. But like I like Char's suits.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I love that he has a theme and he sticks with it.
Right.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Sosby, the Sonanju.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love them. They're great. I even, this breaks from that mold that I just said, but the Hyakushiki.
Oh, yeah.
I love a good golden boy.
Right. The one departure he's ever made.
And it's a great one, in my personal opinion. I love all those. As far as like...
His Rick Diaz, even.
Yeah,
the first suit you see him in, of course, it's stark red.
Of course. I love it. And for me, out of all the Gundam universe, there's been so many great Gundam suits that I love.
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason, every time I see the Sonanju, I think it was like it's one of the first ones that I gravitated towards. And I think it's just that it hits me in a certain way. Where I'm like, it does it for me. I like that crimson red.
The most aesthetically pleasing mech I can think of.
Precisely. I like a good black with gold trim on it. I'm like, it's just regal enough for me where I'm like, hell yeah, dude. So I look at that and I'm like, out of all the Gundam suits, I have many that it would be hard for me to number or to like rate in like a tier list. Right. But chief among them, the Sonanju has a special place in my heart, along with the Unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Because that whole show is the first Gundam I ever watched. And I love it. Exactly. That's your fault. Anyways. And people will have to tell you how wrong you are. I'm playing. But for that same reason of why I love Unicorn and Sonanju so much, for, all the reasons I just stated, I feel that way about the White Glint.
Yeah.
I remember playing Armored Core 2 back on the PS2. I played 3 a little bit. I think I played Last Raven. I don't think I played 4 at all, but I think I went straight into 4 Answer. I think I watched some videos on 4, though. I really enjoyed the mech design of Armored Core. Some of them I think were better than others.
Right.
And I think I made my own Frankenstein's monster of a mech in Armored Core where I was like, oh, this is my favorite. And I was able to color it all blue and weird and all that stuff. And I was heck yeah.
Look at it.
Look at that.
All blue and weird.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
perfect.
Exactly. But as far as I guess like factory default Armored Core.
Right. Mass production types.
The White Glint is...
It is one of the Gundams.
Yes.
Of that series.
Exactly. I like the Alia.
Which is insane because you could say that about almost like any other suit.
Right. I like the Alia
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first. I want to say it's the first starting mech of 4-Answer.
Yeah.
Or it's
one of the ones you can choose.
One of the ones you can
choose. It gives you
choose.
multiple options.
Yes. And I also love the design of that one. It's super cool. But I think it's, again, to justify why I like the Sananju so much, I'll justify why I like the White Glint so much. Because it is like the poster child for that game.
Yeah.
It got this beautiful intro cinematic.
The assault on the spirit of Mother Will.
I mean, how cool is that?
It's already given the White Glint that underdog feel, which of course I'm always going to root for.
Right.
Unless the whatever, like, overbearing, like, oppressive Imperial force just so happens to be, like, super fucking cool, I'm going to gravitate towards that.
Of course.
A la the Cabal.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Little
Destiny reference.
That's the only,
Yeah.
one of the only parts of Destiny I still enjoy. Or the Cabal.
Yeah.
The concept of them.
So great. So, because of that introduction, and if you anybody who's probably listened to this podcast or is probably big fans of ours probably already know this, but just do yourself a favor, and just go rewatch that intro cinematic for Armored Core 4-Answer, FOR Answer.
Don't even stop there. Watch all of them.
I mean, yes,
there
all
are
great.
compilation videos.
It's so great, but I remember gravitating towards that suit so much. And again, here's my justification.
Yeah.
It's not immediately given to you. In fact,
you gotta earn it.
You have to earn it through going down a specific quest path. So it's like, even if you play through the game, you may not even get it. So it's like that. It adds that layer of like rarity to it, where you're like, it also is like, it's not just something you buy in the shop.
It's sought after.
It's sought after. And there is, it probably is not even, it's probably dated and not even that great of a fight, but I can tell you with full certainty, there was no cooler feeling than actually going through the whole process of unlocking the White Glint.
Of course.
And then doing the mission, fighting against the spirit of Mother Will, where you actually get the like rocket.
Let me just recreate that intro sequence.
The whole premise of it is that there are the heavy artillery. This literally walking base is so massive. It has all this artillery that it is almost a no man's land in a certain radius around this base, that it can fire so far that no one can get close to it, because it blows up anything that gets close to it. So,
and that's not even to mention all the MTs.
Yeah, it's it's a whole base. It's like a whole
fortress,
laden with all kinds of little robots as well. Quote unquote little robots that are still 3 stories tall, as opposed
comparatively
to
the jobbers.
Exactly. They could crush a human being under its foot.
MTs on their way to fight at a core, knowing full well they're going to be blasted into oblivion.
Oh man! So the whole premise is we have to take this White Glint, this one of a kind, state of the art Armored Core mech suit. Strap it with literal rockets that could take us to space. Put, I don't know, 4, 6 on there, and go so fast.
Turn it into a projectile.
Again, we're not going out of orbit. We could, though, if we wanted to. But you got to go. You got to go
strictly horizontal movement.
Exactly, and you got to blast through the artillery that's going to be hitting you on the way there, or trying to hit you because you're moving so fast.
You break the sound barrier at least like 5 times on your way.
And then as you come out of, I'm going to say it, hyperspace, you basically, you disengage from all the rockets, and you're close enough now where the artillery can't hit you because, again, it's too close a distance. And now you have to
deal with the accompaniment. The peanut gallery.
Dude, and it's such a, like I said, you watch the intro cinematic, and you're like, man, this is so cool.
Right.
And then you get to do it, and you're like, man.
You see the White Glint land on one of the runways, and it's just, it's still got that much momentum left over that it's just sliding across on the surface of this thing, firing its guns willy-nilly just all over the place. Pulls a wing zero, just has both arms outstretched. Because if it fires, it can hit, like, it will hit something.
Yes. And I love that.
Right.
And I'm saying all that to say that I think that because of all that, and the nostalgia and everything, and again, it was from a franchise that started me off in loving mech stuff in any way, even in that little bit. I think the white glint's like my top, dude. It just it fits everything. It's got a cool design, and love it.
It's good.
Hate me if you will.
Right.
Everyone can have their own favorite mech. There's enough to go around.
Yeah.
Looking at you.
Look, all I'm saying is if Act Guy is not at least in the top 10, your opinion isn't worth shit to me, okay?
I think I could definitely fit the Act Guy on my top 10.
If I don't see a gun tank in there anywhere, you're dead to me.
You're not my friend anymore.
Right.
Oh, man.
Dude, no Gao Gaigar, get the fuck out of my face.
There you go. I don't think you could do a top 10.
That's because I have more than 10.
I know.
I can't pick favorites.
Well,
what's
your top 25?
I don't know. I mean, there's too many.
I know.
I can't.
Well, again, it's not like we're saying that one is better than the other. We're just saying what is like your top favorite out of all of the.
Yeah.
Because there definitely has to be at least like 10 that you're like, I think I like these 10 a little more than all the rest of them.
If I had to pick...
We're not saying we have to do it right now, but one of these days I'm going to sit you down. You're right, we could. We could.
I honestly want to get yours. See how much you know. Consider it a test.
I do think that we have to narrow it down a little bit.
Okay.
I wouldn't...
What, down to like a series or just...
maybe.
Because we could stick to Gundam. That's what you've seen the most of.
You're right. There is definitely... Again, that's what I'm saying. There is so much. I can understand that it's hard to narrow it down.
We could divvy it up by real robots and super robots.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Because again, if we're talking about including Armored Core...
Right, that's just real robots all the way.
You mentioned Gao Gaigar for a minute.
Super robot.
Yeah, and so it's like...
Immediately, that's got to include Gurren Lagann.
Of course. Right.
The Tengenest Toppa you ever did see.
And then I'm trying to think, what is a Gun X sword? I mean, like you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, so we're getting like the scope is large.
That'd probably be real robot.
The scope is large, and that's why I was like, how would we narrow it down into like TV series, into video games or something like that? Making it a little bit easier possibly. But I'm not saying I know the answer. Yeah. I'm hypothesizing right now. Right. You got Zeo Reimer, I know. You see, like we're talking about badass robots, there's a whole bunch of shit, and I know there's even some out there we haven't even seen technically, but
the High Gog, fucking love that thing.
I do think having a Gundam specific top 10 would be easier.
It could fill up multiple, like you could order that shit by individual shows.
You're right
with how massive the franchise is. But man, if I
know for you it'd be more hard because you're very partial to a lot of them.
Design wise, just based on looks, it's a toss up between like 4 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If we're going like with Gundams,
can we make
not just mobile suits, but Gundams specifically?
Right.
One of my tops is going to be the Barbatos Lupus.
Okay.
From Iron Blooded Orphans.
Yeah.
Turn A is going to be on there, of course, along with the Turn X.
Yeah.
Those two are inseparable for me.
Okay. Well, you'll put them down as a package deal.
Right, yeah. One good turn deserves another.
Yeah. So now it makes me think, like, should we... Now, this would be hard for me to make it even more broad and I think more fun. Yeah. Should we just rank our favorite Gundam series?
Fuck.
Instead of instead of going down to the nitty-gritty details and doing specific suits, just go like, I like...
See, but it's going to be strictly Universal Century for you. Because that's what you've seen. You've seen tidbits of other like alternate universe ones, but
I'm not saying this is for me. I'm saying this more for you.
Fuck.
Yeah. For me, as far as UC goes, I could probably sit down and sort it out a little bit. Right. Especially like top 10. If you give me top 10, I could definitely get because War in the Pocket's going to be on somewhere.
Oh, dude.
I think War in the Pocket would be top 5 for me at least. Man, this is actually really interesting now. I kind of want to sit down and do this now. Now that we're thinking about it, because it's actually kind of fun. Because it's also got me thinking about 8th MS team. I remember how good that made me feel.
Zeta
was fun.
Fucking fun. Camille, where's Katz? He's fine.
What was now? Am I mistaken? That wasn't Stardust Memory the one where the guy goes to prison?
Yes.
And the girl was there, like being all buddy when like she was
Nina Purpleton, fucking bitch.
I remember liking I loved the aesthetic of that show.
Stardust Memory is one of my all times.
Stardust Memory has such a good vibe. I just remember the ending was so hilarious because of how much I hated it.
Because of how everything
shook out. I was like, you son of a bitch.
See, everything leading up to that ending sequence, like Nina withstanding, exactly. Completely just take her out. Like, fuck that bitch.
Right.
That scene where Keith walks up in that Gelgoog.
Yes.
Flips him the peace sign.
Hell yeah.
And then he realizes, oh my God, that's my best fucking friend in that thing.
Yes.
Dude, accompanied with Evergreen, bro. Yeah. That is my favorite.
There you go.
Absolute favorite song from that series. The winner, get the fuck out. Evergreen all the way. All right. I love the winner. The winner is one of my fucking favorite. Like,
that's I can't. The music is so specific to that series.
Oh yeah.
If you love like a good 80s ballad, or you love like that sound
Back
of the
to
80s,
Paradise.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Men of Destiny, bro.
I mean, that whole Stardust Memory album is, I mean,
perfection.
It is. I mean, you talk about laid on thick with like the 80s. It just feels like it.
Oh yeah,
because obviously it came out in that time frame.
Dude, even Magic.
Oh yeah.
It's perfect.
Human touch.
See, that's from X. We haven't even watched that one yet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was no. I'm thinking of a different one.
Right.
We haven't watched yet. X. Oh my God.
After War Gundam X.
Oh man,
that's gonna be a fun one.
I'm trying to. I mean, even if we're going, just give me Gundam altogether. Like I remember really loving Origins.
Oh yeah, Origins is fucking peak, dude. As far as like prequels go,
so good.
It's one of the best.
Right.
It serves as like a perfect primer, like introduction into that whole Universal Century timeline.
Right. I mean, for good reason. Obviously named the Origins
chronologically.
Yeah.
The start.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I even loved Thunderbolt, but I was a little sad that it just ends.
They're just, I mean, they have to get more out.
That it upsets me a little bit.
After reading through the manga for a good bit and seeing how far they go and what all happens, I need it to be animated.
So sad. Do we know what the next? I know they were talking about making like that 3D render Gundam.
Oh yeah,
I don't
Requiem for Vengeance.
Yes,
that's the new Netflix series coming out.
Is it out yet?
No, not yet. But the action looks fantastic. I can't speak for the character designs. I saw a trailer, and I mean, I don't know how to feel.
Okay,
they're ugly.
Oh no!
And it's along the same lines as like MS Igloo. That first like CG series they put out.
Yeah.
People were fucking hideous in that shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're unintentionally or otherwise keeping that trend going because holy shit.
Damn.
But the Gundams, I've heard people complain about like the proportions of some of the mobile suits, but I think they look fantastic.
Nice.
You can't really go wrong with me for giant robots unless they look no. Even if they look stupid, I love them.
Yeah. You'll find a way to love them.
Right. Any kind of giant machine.
Yeah. I'll find a way to love you.
Yep. That'll do
all your flaws.
I
also think that I vividly remember that the first Gundam that released, the first new Gundam that released that like, and I was like a part of the fandom a little bit was Hathaway.
Yeah.
There may have been some other stuff that released as we were watching other stuff. But like the first thing I remember, you were like, "There's a new Gundam coming out," and we got to watch it, and I was like, "Bro, what?"
Yeah, the trailers for that were fucking radical,
so good. And even though
I was freaking out because now I had a time constraint. Like I have to get them caught up so that he knows what the fuck is going on and where the setting's taking place.
I remember that. Yeah,
who the characters are.
We watched. Oh shit! What was it called? Char's Counterattack.
Yes,
we watched Char's Counterattack right before we watched that.
Yeah,
to really get the kind of the scope of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And even that I'm kind of sad about because they didn't continue any of that.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they're going to plan to or not. But I was so upset because I was like, man, I love that.
Need more.
It feels very. It feels like it's ready. It feels primed for a sequel.
Oh yeah.
That I know will probably never happen. And I'm like, oh, it's such a beautiful. I won't get back on that horse again. Right. I loved how
it's a whole episode.
I loved how beautiful that anime was. Mm-hmm. It was just gorgeous. So. I mean,
cream of the crop.
Emotions, like just design, action. It's like all of it is so
beautiful.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It has a cool vibe.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's many we could put on a list for that, but that's why I was saying should we just do series instead of suits?
Oh man,
but
yeah, and if we're doing series, we have to. You gotta watch Turn A.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. You have to. There's no contest there.
What is the next Gundam we were planning on watching? Was
Probably
it
Double Zeta? Yeah.
Okay.
Or G Gundam. We could take a step outside your comfort zone, go a bit on the wild side.
Is G Gundam like a 50 episode? Or a 40
it's like
something?
40 something.
Okay, it's not bad.
It's like a wing type endeavor.
A wing type endeavor?
Yeah. Not too shabby. Wing was fucking fun, man.
Wing was fun.
I'll kill you.
Oh, man.
What?
It's crazy how long Wing went on for.
Mm-hmm.
Because how we normally do this is we don't have like a set day we watch certain episodes like that.
It just kind of happens.
Right, and so we'll have like an afternoon where we'll make tea and, like we talked about before, sit down, have Oreos, and we'll sit down and watch an anime episode or two, or usually it's 2, sometimes 3, depending on what we feel like. And we'll, chip our way through a show, and with a 40-something episode, or I think Wing was 40 or 50 almost.
Yeah, just about.
And we do that, like we'll do like 2 or 3, maybe once or twice a week, maybe. Yeah. You can imagine
a reasonable schedule.
But whenever you start
or lack thereof,
whenever you start spanning it out, it starts to look like the course of 6 months almost.
Right.
Or so. Sometimes we'll take a break or
that's
whatever.
What it felt like. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh man, we've been watching this show forever. So
it's good though.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Could I say it's my favorite? I mean. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I loved Endless Waltz.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god,
Endless Waltz was good.
That's just the best.
And again, but I also understand that Endless Waltz is great because of the show that came before it.
Having all the context for everything.
Right.
Knowing what all the characters have done and been through.
I watched Endless Waltz before watching the show, and I still thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But it definitely hit harder the second time around when I was like, oh, I've got hundreds of hours of investment in these characters, and of course our main guy in the wing, is is like the gun's so immense that it
fires the gun so hard.
Yeah,
he starts to explode.
Bruh shoots so hard he's falling apart.
It's so good, man.
Badass, dude.
The sound of it.
Yeah,
I could go on. And
I also love the fact that they're all surrounded and they're all just like, kicking ass, and it's like, oh, bruh, it's going out in a blaze of glory.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Made my own heavy arms equivalent recently.
Oh, yeah?
Called him Big Shot.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got 2 quintuple barrel Gatling guns.
That's with the mod from Armored Core you're talking about, Armory.
Oh, yeah.
Armored
I've
Core
made
6.
like 5 designs so far.
Yeah.
All of which I've shown to Ian. And man, they work perfectly.
He's got one of them that has the thickest legs.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest, thickest legs.
Only the thickest.
And I think that's the one you're talking about.
To accommodate the weight.
The weight.
The girth.
You're going to feel this
of
weight.
This monster machine.
You're going to feel this weight when it falls down and just crumbles.
Right.
This thing is, obviously, whenever you the sound design for Armored Core 6 is wonderful.
Phenomenal.
This dude, he's in this. That's the one with the chain guns, right?
Yep.
He has. I don't even know how to describe it. He's got this mech suit. He's got this armored core, thickest thighs, thickest legs, and
comparatively gigantic when put next to another like armored core.
Yes, and then he doesn't have hands. He has arms that like go inside these like holsters.
I was actually able to get a closer look at him, and the arms do like they have hands.
Okay,
and there are like handles and like triggers for these things. They're just the arms are so big that they just kind of like mesh into the
that's crazy
into the guns themselves. So it looks like those are just his arms.
I know, and
it's
so
perfect.
he has these. They're machine guns, they're chain guns, but he has 5 per hand.
Right.
So he was talking
total of 10.
He was talking about wanting to make a build like that could, like he said before, carry the weight.
I knew somehow there had to be a way.
Dude, this guy's so heavy. He barely jumps. He's like, huh. Like,
just a little hop.
And I love the fact that like whenever you fall down from a great height, it sounds huge,
weighty.
And
perfect.
He was able to dash around. He's like flying around, and he falls onto a building, and it and I was like, I'm surprised you didn't fall through every single floor of that building.
This thing is evidently lighter than a Gustav Karl.
Yeah.
If you remember those fuckers.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Very happy with the final product.
It's wonderful.
Not even that, like he's got the miniguns, but he also has a big ass cannon on his back, as well as a 12-shot missile launcher.
Can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
It looks like yet again another one of our conversations was engulfed by
that's a bit of a trend
talk.
I've noticed. I wonder whose fault that is.
I mean, I you're right, but I also don't think I helped at all. Like posing, like again, I had to really start talking about why I
What's
I
that
had to
old saying,
justify
like
why
minds think about the same stuff a lot.
Yeah, I had to justify. I felt like I had to justify why I liked the Sinanju and Unicorn the most, and also why I like the White Glint.
I'll tell you what the justification is. Look at it.
I know, right?
Look at the fucker.
But I know there's someone out there that's like, no, it's the RX. Like,
yeah, well,
and it's great.
Those people don't exist. And if they do, I'll kill them.
They definitely exist.
No fucking way. No shot, dude.
You think there's someone out there that doesn't believe that the OG number 1 Gundam is the best Gundam?
Unless there's some geriatric wheelchair-bound piece of shit.
Okay, I'm gonna have to censor all of that.
No. I swear to you, there is no way in hell that on God's green earth there exists a person that will look at the Sinanju and be like, nah, you cannot convince me. And before the fucking contrarians in the comments be like, oh, well, this one's my favorite, actually. I don't really care for that. Shut up.
Damn.
Shut your damn mouth. You don't exist to me.
Damn.
Do you understand?
Okay, I'm going to have to cut you off right there.
No, they have to.
I love how you're the pacifist out of this group, and I'm the one who's like, he's really going hard.
This is the only instance.
This is the only instance where I will attack anybody in the streets.
Mm-hmm. On sight.
Find me out back.
You better hope to God that I don't find out.
Oh, gosh. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Love that. We'll clip that and say that for later.
That'll be it for me. They know where the line in the sand is. They cross it, God help them.
There you go. I haven't, again, not to super change the subject, but I have heard that they made like a really nice new expansion for Helldivers 2.
Oh.
And
I think it was like a new war bond.
Yeah.
It's like all fire focused.
It's that, but I think they also launched it with like I don't want to say expansion, but I think they're shifting things up, like the next tide of war is changing.
Yeah.
And it's like a pretty big deal. I actually haven't had a chance to play that game recently.
Right.
But I heard that like the player base is kind of sparking back up again and people are getting back involved, which is really fun.
Nice.
My computer never really could run it very well.
Yeah.
Because I just don't, again, I got really old parts on my computer.
Right. What kind of components are you working with?
I don't even know where
Got to
to
get
begin,
some
dude.
upgrades.
I do, but I just don't want to. I just can't spend the money on it right now.
Oh, good. All in good time.
But I would. The thing is, it's at a point where the only thing that's probably worth anything is the new power supply that I purchased because the old one was shot like a year ago, and the hard drives are still pretty young and hip, and they still got a bunch of stuff on them
with the shits.
With the shits. So I probably could salvage those, but realistically, one of the 2 graphics cards I have in there is not.
Yeah,
it's not
probably
really,
past its prime.
Definitely past its prime. The other one's doing great because it's basically new. The motherboard is ancient.
Ooh.
The processor is pretty old as well. And I think it just needs new cooling all around. But anyways, it's got.
She's a resilient old girl.
There are parts on, just to put things in perspective, there are parts in that computer that I purchased. Let me think. 2011. So yeah, there are parts in that computer right there that are still running. Jesus which I mean, it's kind of a testament to some of that. I think the motherboard itself is from 2011. It doesn't have any USB 3. Doesn't have any USB C. Like obviously, it's because it was manufactured before those existed,
right?
Or were in mass manufacturing.
Damn.
So I need to get new parts. I'm saying all that to say that Helldivers ran okay if I turned the settings down.
Yeah,
but like it never.
If you did a certain thing, it would just crash.
I think some of that was what's the word I'm looking for? The optimization of the game. Because I think that other players in our group were having the same issue. So I was like, okay, so at least it's not my computer that's causing the game to crash. But one thing I did notice is that, like, because of how long it was taking my computer to like load into a map a lot of times, it was also hindering other people in the team. So like other people, there were other people in my squad as we're like launching down. It would be like a normal load time for me. But everyone like that, I would hear that a couple times. I would hear a couple times in chat, like, "Man, it's taking a little bit long."
Yeah, and
I was like, "Ah, shit, that's me, guys."
Damn.
Like I think Ethan or even yourself or somebody would do that. They'd be like, "It's kind of a long. I don't know why it's taking so long."
Yeah, it took me a while to get the graphics like just right.
Yeah,
on mine, everything looked like it was put through some sort of just like blurry ass filter.
Same. And I think that they did some optimization on it recently. That like the past like big update, they did a lot of balancing on the weapons, and they also changed like a lot of the settings. And I think the game runs better now.
That's good.
But I still think my computer is kind of kaput for it.
Right.
Like I really can't have anything running in the background. Is the whole thing. So I'd like really shut down. Like I can't listen to music. I can't do anything else while I'm doing it. Like I can barely run Discord with the game. Well, I say that. I can run both at the same time. I notice the game runs better when Discord's not running in the background.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, bummer.
Damn.
Because, all of us in the group will,
that's
play.
like the whole point.
Exactly. The communication of the game. So anyways, I've really been, oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have really been wanting to get back into playing it because I really enjoyed it. But I did launch it recently and was like...
Yeah, Cade hopped on like a couple days ago.
You're right. Because I knew
put out an SOS in the chat and I was like, yeah, I'll hop on. And then I forgot it wasn't installed, so I had to wait like an hour.
Oops.
Which was too long because I had to be up for work in the morning. I was like, well,
I'll
just hop in chat, say hi, and then be like, okay, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Right. I was far too busy with work.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw that and I was like, man, would I ever? I would definitely jump on.
It is what it is.
But I am kind of upset though, like because I did launch it after updating it, and I could realize I've been playing other games that just launch instantly, and run smoothly. So like launching back into it and seeing how long it takes to like load the game and how like kind of crappy it looks, and I was like, I was a little bummed, because I was like, I know I can launch a match right now. And the match will probably take 30 minutes.
Right.
And it'll probably take me a long time to like get in the match. And I was like, I just don't know if I'm not ready for that investment right now.
Yeah.
That was not the night for it.
Damn.
But I definitely had sat there and was like, I could do it though. And I got a bunch of the previous major orders.
Oh yeah.
And so I
just got a stockpile.
I had the last little bit of metals I needed for like the last 2 things on that the commando war bond. So I got the throwing knife and I got the stem boost one or whatever it is.
Nice.
So that's the besides like the main one, that's the only other war bond that I've like completed out. The other ones I'm like on page 2 or maybe even page 3, but that one I went whole hog on and I unlocked everything because it's so cool.
Yeah.
I still haven't done that emote, the test of conviction with you. I so badly want to do that. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I guess that'll be it for this episode of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else
We've rambled on enough, I'd say.
About all of our things we enjoy.
Indeed.
I'm going to try and get some rest tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Get all done with that.
Right.
And
prepare for the day.
And I'm so excited for Saturday.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
It has been way too long since we've had a convention or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the last
MechaCon, yeah.
MechaCon. Oh my gosh.
That was fun. Got some goodies.
That was back in what, 2019?
I don't even want to think about it.
Okay, gotcha. It's probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's sad. All right. Well, anyways, like I said at the top of the episode, if you like this show or you've been enjoying listening to us, and
should you feel so inclined,
yes, go to YouTube and in the search bar you can type in at Hindsight Studios and you can find all of our podcasts there at the channel.
Every single one.
Subscribe to the channel. And drop a like on this episode if you can.
If you wanna.
I'm gonna be in the comment section this weekend.
He'll be lurking.
I'll be looking. I'll be lurking,
waiting at his desk.
If I'm gonna be at the con, just holding up the comment section, being like, "Yo,
right,
where you at?
Where? Show yourself. All one of you.
If you are in the New Orleans area, come on down and
carefully.
Yeah, carefully,
slowly,
with hand sanitizer.
Any sudden movements, and I may kill you.
Hand sanitizer, deodorant.
Please, deodorant.
Yeah. And I will be there with my hand ready for a handshake. You'll be around. You can't miss me.
Right.
I know you guys probably don't know what I look like, but trust me. You look at me and you're like, yeah, he definitely could play guitar.
No. I was like, what the fuck is that?
He could play guitar, and he also looks like he has a podcast. The funny thing, dude, before this last thing, I, once upon a time, Chase, the infamous, Ethan, Dylan, and myself used to walk around our local mall or used to go to like game stores or, just like, just be...
Goof around. Shenanigans.
Young rapscallions just out about in the town. And many times people would look at us because of what we're wearing and what we look like. They're like, you guys look like a band.
Right. What's your album?
Did
you put out a new single?
And there were many jokes that we had with that. And
it happened again recently.
And that's what I'm about to say. We were at...
I felt so nostalgic. I was like, oh.
I know. We were at Walmart.
My God.
We were at Walmart, and it was actually Chase, Dylan, myself, and John instead, because Ethan was working that night.
Yeah.
And one of the cashier ladies behind like the little self-checkout area had walked up and was like, what did she say to you guys?
She asked us, like, what's the situation? Like, what are y'all doing? Why do you all got beards? You all got... You all wear the same fit? Y'all in a band or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh
my God.
Thank you.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
So if you see again, it'll only be John, myself, and Dylan.
It'll be enough of an ensemble to put together a coherent look.
Exactly.
I feel like.
Yeah. You look at us and you're like, they definitely could be in a band.
If John wears his shirt, that'll be the real trendsetter. It'll be perfect.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But you can find us.
I fucking love that.
I do. It's so great. But yeah, I mean, it's not very expensive. Come on down to New Orleans Comic Con.
Pay us a visit. You might.
I just
there's literally no way for you to know it's us or not, Unless you're really well acquainted with the sound of our voices and we're just so happen to be like having a conversation or some shit, there's no way you're going to know it's
I
us.
swear, if anybody who listens to this podcast...
I'd be amazed.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely floored that some random fucker out there recognizes us.
There's no way.
Us.
There's no way. But if you're listening to this podcast and you've listened for an extended period of time...
Impossible. You're not real.
And you're, again, though, at the time of this episode dropping, it's tomorrow.
Right.
So tomorrow, down in New Orleans,
we'll be there.
And you can come see us. We and I feel like I have to preface this. We don't actually have a panel. We're joking. We don't have a panel. Right. We don't have. None of it is officially sanctioned by New Orleans Comic Con
that they know of.
But we will definitely be there. And I really thought about dressing up.
Oh really?
I thought like I got my Renaissance Festival outfit, my King outfit I could wear. I've got my my negotiator gumshoe detective look that I was like, how fun would that be? I'm still not convinced otherwise, but I do. Yeah. I'm not sure though. Who knows?
We'll see.
But anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, or again, if you're listening on any of the major podcasting platforms, you can type in The Aftermath and find us there. And we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you listening. And I am so happy that this podcast has gone on for as long as it has. Yeah. It's been as fun as it has been. There's moments like this where I get a little discouraged because I ran out of time, and again, life
down to the wire.
Life and work got the best of me, and it makes me feel a little bit sad. But then there's moments like this where we can sit down and talk, and I feel
bring it around
a lot better. So, anyways, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you, and until next time,
see you.
Bye-bye.